Good morning, cadets. Commander Andrews here. Welcome to our third flight on our trip around the world. I hope you all enjoyed your week in St. Helena. Today we are leaving St. Helena and we're flying to Ascension Island. Now, funnily enough, Ascension Island, we're going to be landing at an RAF airfield, a military airfield. Our first of many. And let's not waste any time. Let's jump in, let's get going. Right, in the cockpit, I am expecting runway 20. That is an unusual sight to see at St. Helena Airport. Look at that, 3 airliners are sitting here. Right, nonetheless, let's get things going here. Whoop. Up to the top, let's get the battery on. Today we're not going to bother with ground power, we're going to go straight onto APU. That is an option if for those airports, remote airports that don't have ground power. This one does, I'm sure, but today, just to be a little different, we are going straight onto APU. So, before we turn on the APU, first things first, let's turn these guys on here so we can get this done nice and quickly. There we go. Back down. Right, we're going to go straight to that left aft fuel pump on, and we're going to go straight to the APU and start that up. And then hopefully we can get rid of that annoying alarm. Right, and then we can switch from this to that can go. We can do that one. Just wait for that APU. Luckily we don't need ground power to start up the APU. Waiting for this to settle and then waiting for this light to come on. Then we can just jump into the does take its time. Right, there we go. Let's do it. Okay, we're running on APU power now. We can switch this over to APU Gen. Right, we can guard that. Emergency lights have been guarded. We're going to turn the pitot tube heats on and the window heat. We're also going to turn the damper on now also. Okay, we can now go. Let me just check that I haven't forgotten anything. Probes to on, window heat on, emergency lights is activated, dome light is not required, IRS system is working, so we can go to the FMC. Right, we can go pause in it, we can go next page please, grab the coordinates, previous page please, put them in. Okay, our reference airport, we are currently sitting at St. Helena, FHSH. We're going to try and get through this as fast as we can. That'll be our reference airport. There we go. Gate I'm not going to worry about. Route FHSH is sitting there. We can put him straight into the origin. Destination unknown. That will be RAF Ascension. Their KO code is FHAW. 4 FHAW. Here we go. Company route, not worried about. Flight number, we're not worried about. Runway, we are expecting a runway 20 for takeoff. Let us just verify that. Let's go to, okay, they don't have an ATIS. AGC don't have an ATIS. Well then, that's fine. Let's go to ground. I'm pretty sure they're going to give us 20. Two zero, runway 20, not in database. Okay, maybe it's because St. Helena is not a vanilla airport. It doesn't come with flight sim. So let's try 020. Maybe that'll work. Oh well, that's fine. We don't really, not necessary to put it in. It does help with the takeoff calculations though. But it's not a train smash. We're going to go straight to legs. And our destination for, once again, FHAW. Put them in there. Which one? Ascension, that's the one. 702 nautical miles that we'll be flying today. We can activate that and execute. Now, when we get, let me just bring up a little nav map here. Now, we're taking off from St. Helena. We're a good 702 nautical miles, and this is another little island, Ascension. If I zoom out, you can get an idea of our trajectory there with regards to the continents around us, in the middle of nowhere, pretty much. So if we have a look here, we are going to be expecting 1-3. If I have a look at our current wind, but that's our current wind where we are now. So we will wait until we contact RAF Ascension before we plan our landing. Let's get rid of that, and we're going to, it's reflecting. And yeah, we're already done with the, no we're not. Let's go to our initial reference now. Okay, now this bit, 0 fuel weight, there we go. Our reserves will be 5. Cost index, we're looking at 50. Today we're going to fly at 20,000 feet because it's not a long trip, so I'm happy to only go up to 20,000. The plan fuel, we're not worried about. Let's just execute that. N1 limit, we don't fiddle with anything here. The takeoff. Flaps, we're going to use 5 degrees. And we are not going to be able to calculate this trim out. Yeah, no, we will, 5.57. We just don't have these because the FMC doesn't recognize St. Helena's runway. Right. We are good to go, so let's go back to progress. ETA 1300 hours, and it is now 1100 hours 15. Okay, let's sit up straight, shoulders back, chest out, stomach in, and let us depart to the west.
Ground Commander 736 request taxi for takeoff west departure.
Commander 736 taxi to and hold short of runway 20.
Yep, 20.
Contact tower on 118.2 when ready.
Okay, will do. Thanks, bub.
Taxi to and hold short runway 20 Commander 736.
Okie dokie. Alright, let's go up to the top. We're going to turn our anti-collision lights on. If we have a look outside, we're not going to need a pushback, we're just going to turn right. We're going to struggle to get past that plane, but we'll cross that bridge, or that piece of tarmac, when we get to it. We might need to have one wiggle on the grass, ploughing some seeds. Jumping back in. Right, so let's go to the front, and we're going to turn on our flight directors. There we go, 1 and 2, both on. Ascension does not have ILS, so we won't be worrying about ILS frequencies. Okie dokie. Auto throttle, let's turn it up to 250 after takeoff. Okay, so we've got, that's where we are now. Our magenta is actually, our course is directly in front of us, so we're heading in that direction. So for the heading bug, it is actually exactly where it needs to be, 330. Nice. We will turn auto throttle on for now. Vertical speed, I think I haven't actually turned this on first before turning on the autopilot before we're in the air, so I'm interested to see if that'll work. Altitude will go up to 20,000. Okay, going back upstairs. From now on, the overhead panel is called upstairs. Cabin pressure, we'll have it set for 20,000. Landing Ascension's elevation is only 200 feet, so we will keep this on 0. And right, okay, we can go seatbelts to on. Your damper is already on. Cabin pressure set. Aft fuel pump on. That's already done. APU is started already. Okay, anti-collision lights are on. Alright, we are ready for engine start. We're going to go to the FMC so we can instruct the good people outside to disconnect the stairways. Right, chocks are removed. Now that chocks are removed, we just need to... Oh! There we go. It's a finicky handbrake this aircraft has. Stairs should be going. There they go. Alright, back upstairs. We are ready for engine start. Parking brake is set. We can turn all the fuel pumps on, and we can turn the APU bleed on. We're going to be using the left igniter today. Right engine on. Off we go. There, we've reached 28, so we can introduce fuel there. Watch for the fuel flow meter to go up. There we go. She's caught. It's like coals on a braai. Or for you Americans, a barbecue. I'm happy to start spooling up engine number 1. Gonna be good fun. Maybe my wing can go underneath that aircraft's tail. Yes, yes. And introduce the fuel for the left engine. Now that they're both caught, going to turn the air packs on. Okay, that engine is on. We are going to tell the aircraft you can now use the main engines for your power requirements. These are the hydraulic pumps. We can tell the aircraft you are now being fed by power from the engines, and we can turn the APU off. Right, if we zoom out just a slight bit here, we and have a look. Starting this panel, taxi lights can go on. We're about to start moving. Logo can go on, why not? Right. We are ready to go. Let's set flaps 1, 2, and 5 degrees. Right, now for the fun part, getting through that gap. We're going to have to turn on a dime. Oh, wait, we've got a parking brake on. We'll need to turn that off, release the parking brake. Hello, there we go. Right, so you need to keep the nose wheel straight just so the aircraft starts moving. Only then you can turn it. Otherwise she won't start moving. So we're going to taxi out onto the runway, we're going to turn left. We're going to, what they call, backtrack to the end of the runway, turn around, and then take off. Right. I think we'll get past. We have to get past. We have hotels booked in Ascension. Okay, let's throttle back a bit. We've got all the forward momentum we need. We don't want that wheel to start skidding. We're not on the grass, are we? No, we're just not on the grass. And we're gonna miss that plane. How's that for keeping the realism? This plane has to be going very slowly for it to do tight turns. Whew. Okay, let's jump back inside, shall we? I hope you've all had a lovely week in St. Helena. I myself feasted on some crayfish. So, as I mentioned in one of my previous flights, I am using live weather. So I've had no control of the weather. We've just been very lucky so far. And I'm kind of hoping that we get some more dramatic weather on some of our more legs coming up. Now, I probably was supposed to contact ATC before taxiing onto the runway. Yeah, I think that they're gonna tell me to expect a phone call. What we're gonna do while we're taxiing to the end of the runway, okay, let me come to a stop. There we go.
Tower Commander 736 ready at runway 20 west departure.
Commander 736, altimeter 30 decimal.
They say 144 at 15, which means the wind is going across the runway the direction of 144 degrees at knots of 15 knots. So if you have a look at a little nav map over here at the top, you can see 144, 145. They got that right. It's just the knots they don't have
Commander
right.
736, did you copy?
Yes.
Cleared for takeoff runway 20, Commander 736.
Okay, now does this runway have one of those handy? It does. Oh, it's quite far off. Right, so we're taxiing at something a little faster than walking speed. It's actually sprinting speed. So we've got our flaps at 5. Check. It's pretty much this huge drop off at the end of this runway. Airport's built on quite a large plateau. So I am going to, out of curiosity, let's go back in. Okay, let's slow us down. I'm going to press the B so we can set our barometer correctly. That is the QNH. What the QNH is we set it to the airport's local air pressure, so we can have an accurate reading down here of how many feet we are in the air. And this tells us that this airstrip is 1,000 feet above sea level. Right, now we're just doing a U-turn. Okay, we can get rid of ATC, thank you so much. Let's not dilly-dally, people, let's go. Let us neither dilly nor dally. Right. Let's jump in. We've got our clearance, so the moment we finish this turn. Right. Landing lights on. Flaps at 5. Oh, no they're not. One more, please. Is it just me, or is it brightness has gone up a hell of a lot all of a sudden? There's a lot of glare. Gotta put them shades on. Okay, let's go. So, seeing as we couldn't feed the what runway we're taking off into the FMC, it wasn't able to tell us what rotate speed. So we're going to use a thumb suck rotate speed of 130. Once again, I forgot to set the trim. Whoop! Now we need to get us off the ground. There's that crosswind. You!
Positive reincline.
I didn't see that, and neither did you. Sit up in the seat. There we go. Over the water. Gear up.
Commander 736 continues for west departure. Commander 736, leaving my airspace frequency change approved.
Thanks, bub.
Tower Commander 736 frequency change.
Flaps up. We don't need, we can turn that off. Let's sit nicely in the seat. Okay, we need our wits about us now. I'm going to activate that. And we're going to have heading select on. We are rocketing up. Let's lower that nose a little. Auto throttle is on. And let's turn that bank angle setting a bit down. This aircraft's default bank angle setting I find is way too much. Thank you, Saint Helena. How boring. Okay, if we have a look, we've only turned on the heading selector. We've told the aircraft to fly at 330, not necessarily to fly to our destination. What I'd like to do, there is the heading bug there. That's 330. We want to alter that just a bit more to intercept our flight plan path, so to speak. Okay, once gear is up, once again we just have to put it into the off position, as I tried to explain in the previous flight, but not very well. If you leave it up, the actuators are constantly powered to hold the wheel up. Put it in the off position, the actuators turn off, and there's physical clamps that hold the wheel in place. I think if there's an actual 737 pilot or engineer watching, you can let me know, please, in the comments, if I am right or wrong. Climbing through 7,000, altitude 20. Let's check. Our vertical speed is not on, but now it is. There we go. So we can see we're approaching that line now. If I had to turn LNAV on now, it will bank the plane to the right to get to that path and then back to the left, which is not necessary. Okay, we can confirm flaps are up. We can go and just have a wee look-see at taxi lights can go off. We're at 8.5. I'm going to turn the landing lights off now. Alright, once we're in there, we're going to turn on the TCAS. Not that there's really, not that it's a busy airspace, yeah? I haven't heard another aircraft on frequency yet. So, what LNAV is, LNAV stands for lateral navigation. So I'm going to turn that on. There we go. Now we should see the plane bank to the right slightly, or it might be happy with where we are. VNAV I don't use because that's vertical navigation. That's then if you have to program all different altitudes into the FMC. And that is when we start using SIDS and stars. Okay, we've passed through 10,000. We're going to go into the cruise now, and I'll see you guys when we start our descent, as before. Alright cadets, it's time to start our descent. If you have a look on the horizon there you can see Ascension Island. We're going to have a quick look at the FMC and we're going to see that we are 65 nautical miles to go. Okay, we're at 20,000, let's go down to 2,500. Start that descent. One eight is fine, and let's decrease that speed to. There we go. Throttling back those engines. And let's make it 2.5 for the time being. Alright, so let's see. I doubt it, but let's see. That's what I said last time and it worked. If we can contact, there we go, Ascension Auxiliary Air Base, I believe, operated by the RAF. The island has a historically significant military presence due to its strategic location in the Atlantic Ocean. During World War II, Ascension Island served as an important airbase for the Allied forces, and today it still has a military base operated by the Royal Air Force, and that's where we're going to land. They also have a NASA tracking station that plays a crucial role in the tracking and communication with satellites and space missions. I'd like to do a full stop, please.
Wide Awake Tower Commander 73652 miles southeast, 17,600 feet to land.
It's weird, I see.
Commander 736, Wide Awake Tower. Altimeter 29.906, wind 142 at 15. Make right downwind runway 13.
Right, so they've given us runway 13. We can have
right downwind runway 13, Commander 736.
Quick gander at our that's 13, so we're going to come in from the other side. We've got some waypoints over here that we can program into our FMC. So we're going to start off with Tiffany and then FIPS. FIPPS. FIPS. Alright, so we can get rid of that for the time being. So let's have a look-see down here. We're going to go to legs. And we're going to put in, I think it was TIF and Y, the one on the outside. TIF and Y, blah 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 blah. Tiffany, let's see if it will accept it. It's happy with that. Then we're going to put in FIPS. FIPPS. And we're going to put that in here. It's happy with that. Then we're going to select 4 and put him in here. We are going to execute that. And we are going to have a look-see. So if we have a look at, let's bring old nav map back into the equation. So we should be flying to FIPS, Tiffany, and then FIPS is lining us up with runway 13. Now runway 13 is, let's see, I've got it here somewhere, on a magnetic heading of 131. So now that we've got that information, put him back. Let's change our course to 131. Okay, then if we zoom in here, we're going to control, we're going to turn this to plan. No, not plan. No, wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. This is the zoom level on this map over here. Okay. You know what we can do? Let's go to plan. No. Alright, so if we look here, there's the turn, and it's going to be straight in. So if we adjust our bank angle, I know I mentioned earlier on, bank angle's too great, but that is going to be quite a sharp turn. Tiffany, see now, I don't like the look of this, something looks wrong. Let's have another look over here. Tiffany, then Phipps, then 4. Okay. Well, let's see. Maybe it'll be fine. It might be too much of an angle, that's the thing. Okay. It's a volcanic island, by the way. It's Ascension. So, what I was trying to do earlier on, if we adjust this to plan, and then we zoom in. There's Tiffany, and if I go to step, 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 it's going to be interesting to see if this works. If it not, then we'll just take over control ourselves and bring her in manually, which we will eventually do anyways. Okay, let's take this back to map. See, this looks strange. It shouldn't be doing that. It shouldn't have that. I don't want this aircraft to start turning. If this aircraft starts turning all of a sudden, I'm turning LNAV off. In fact, I think what we're going to do here, we're going to turn LNAV off. I'm now going to fly to the left and then go on to heading. Now we're using the heading bug. I think that calm down with that bank angle. The turn was just too much for the flight directors to navigate. So, we're going to fly manually towards Tiffany. Once we reach Tiffany, we can then turn on to the final heading. Okay, we are at 6,000 feet. We can go on with the landing lights. Let's slow this aircraft down a wee bit more. Take us down to 230. Alright. There's the airfield. Have a look at where we are on a little nav map. So that's why they've given us runway 13. Look at the wind. Going straight down the runway. At least we're not going to have to fight a vicious crosswind. It's what you have when you have too much beans. Vicious crosswinds. So, we've turned left here, and what we're going to do is see if we can intercept the, it's this one, no, it's the Tiffany one over here. put little nav map away. Now you can see we're getting quite low. Here we go. We are at 3,000 feet. Okay.
2,500.
And we should settle at 2,500 feet. Now, if we put LNAV back on, I wonder what's going to happen. Ah, it says no. It doesn't want to know it. That's fine, it's all good. We'll just stay on this heading a little longer. So soon we're going to turn towards Tiffany and then come straight in. We're at 240. Let's slow us down a bit more, please. 210. Okay. There we go. She is settling. So the FMC is warning us not on intercept heading. We are aware. Okay, now we're going to begin that right turn and change our heading to intercept Tiffany. There we go. That's what I want to see. And we can again calm down. Okay, there we go. That bank angle is not as extreme as it was. Slowing us down to 200. Alright, we're looking good. I believe they've got a nice pub here. It's the British territory, of course it's got a nice pub. I can already see, is that the lighting of the runway? That's a little unrealistic, I guess. Right, so I'm going to fiddle with that zoom. There we go, there we go. So now I want to fiddle a bit more with the heading. Take us towards Tiffany, please. Tiffany. LNAV still won't come on, but it's fine. And we're also going to change this to approach. No, we don't need to. Okay. Going down to 170, I'm going to begin introducing some flap. And we're going to start a slow descent. Now the runway heading is 131. So that means we just set our heading bug onto around 130, and that should pretty much line us up with the runway. Let's change doing things manually, I guess. let's slow us down to 160. Introduce some more flap. 2 degrees flap. Let's begin our turn to 131. 130, 131, thereabouts. And if I am correct, we should pretty much... Oh, we've overshot it. Oh well. I'm going to take command of this aircraft now. Auto throttle can go off. Autopilot off. And gear down. That's what it's shouting about, that the gears are not down. But that's also the autopilot.
Wind 142 at
Sure.
14. Clear to land runway 13.
Thanks, bub. Let's just acknowledge there. Thank you.
Clear to land runway 13 Commander 736.
Must say, this runway angle doesn't seem right. Anywho's. Okay, gear down. More flap. We're going at 150, which is fine. They've also got wind turbines here, I see. I suppose you have to. How are we looking? Okay, that looks good. Oh, we've overshot it again. You didn't see that. Let's sit up a bit. Here we go, now we do a nice line-up job here. More flap. See if we can land pretty short, because the apron is just off there to the right.
Airspeed low. Airspeed low. Airspeed low. Airspeed low.
You're going quite slow. Goodness gracious, this is a tricky approach all of a sudden.
Caution, terrain.
Yes, terrain, that's right.
500,
There we go.
400, 300, 200, 100,
Here we go.
50, 30, 20, 10.
Here we go. There we go. I forgot to arm the spoilers, but luckily it's a very long runway. Yeah, reverse thrust that bitch. There we go. Right. We're gonna have to backtrack along the runway. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that.
Commander 736, turn next taxiway.
Okay, before I do that, we're going to have a quick look at where we are, and we're going to see there is somewhere to turn around, but we can turn on a dime, this little aircraft, and we'll taxi back along the runway. Oh, my spoilers are up. Okay, then I did arm them. Down. Okay, let's turn this thing. Welcome to
736 exit runway when able.
Ascension Island. We can clean up this aircraft, put those flaps back up. There we go. Sit back in our seat. We can relax now. Let's keep to the center line. Flaps coming up.
Commander 736, turn next taxiway.
I am attempting to do so. See, we got 2 planes sitting at the apron. Will there still be 2 planes when we get there? We'll see. Right, while we're taxiing, I'm going to turn on the
Commander
APU.
736, exit runway when able.
Any lights can go off. Taxi lights can go on. And we have found our exit. Much to the delight of ATC. Right, let's bring up that... there we go.
Commander 736, contact ground on 126.2.
Okay.
126.2 Commander 736.
Taxi to parking, please.
Wide awake ground Commander 736, request taxi to parking.
Commander 736, taxi to general aviation parking via taxiway.
That's very vague. Taxi to a general aviation parking via a taxiway. That's so vague. Anyways,
Taxiing to general aviation parking.
We'll just
via
choose
taxiway
one,
Commander
as before.
736.
right. If we have a look at... we've got... we'll park in number 4, I guess. I don't see a taxi line. That makes it a bit difficult, eh? I think we'll park here. Right. Ascension Island. Now, I expect everyone to be on their best behavior while we are here. Remember, these people don't see much of the outside world. We're all that they... yeah. Enough said. I'm just going to go and park next to that blue thing. There's some aviation terminology for you. Hey, we've actually got a marshal directing us. Would you look at that? Whoop, to the right, sorry. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Let's slow us down a bit more. Come on. Come on. I'm actually going to stop here. He's going to let me crash into the blue thing. Yeah, there we go. Right. That's it. We're going to do a quick shutdown today. That's it. 1 and 2. What we did forget to do is tell the aircraft rather go on to... There we go. That was a close call on APU. That's it. We're going to leave it there. Thank you very much, peeps. Please be on your best behavior, and I'll see you all at the pub. Thanks a lot. Laters.